Welcome to It Starts With Courage podcast with Kat and Jen. What is it? It's everything. Everything you want in life starts with courage. Do you ever feel constantly switched on? Like there are all these new trends, new social media apps, new this, that you just feel either like you're getting old or you just constantly need to be switched on? Or is it just me?
It's just you.
No,
No. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I constantly feel old because I don't want to keep up with all that.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you because I was just listening to all this stuff on Metaverse and how, you'll be able to work out in the Metaverse and be able to go to dinner with your friends in Metaverse. And it had me thinking like the way that social media or just social interaction has developed over the years. I remember the days of Facebook when Facebook first came out. And from Facebook, now you have Instagram. So when you look at which generation is it? It's not baby boomers. Which generation likes Facebook more now? Or maybe still some of Gen Z. I don't know. I don't get the Gen blah, 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 and the Gen et cetera, et cetera. But you have those people who are sold on Facebook. They're still team Facebook.
That's me.
And
That's me. Whatever generation I am.
yes, and don't want to move on to Instagram because it's just too much to learn. And then I think about the time of Vine. If you guys remember Vine were like the 6-second videos, and people would turn them into these little dramas. Vine turned into Snapchat with the disappearing videos and messages. And from Snapchat, we're now at TikTok.
Musically was TikTok. TikTok was Musically first. Musically was a kids app where kids could go on and sing and make music videos.
Gosh, because see, when TikTok first came out, or when I first started hearing about TikTok, this was 2020. And I remember my nieces and nephews being like, Auntie Catherine, you need to get on TikTok. You need to. And I just thought my first reaction was like, no, this is too much. I don't want to learn this. I don't want to continue learning all these new things. But now we are now talking about digital money. We've got NFTs, non-fungible tokens, whatever that means. I don't even know what that means.
Oh, no.
To buying digital real estate. Did you know there are courses you can get to start selling real estate in the metaverse?
Oh, yeah. You know that Steph Curry, when he made the record for three-pointers, he has shoes in the metaverse that sells for $300. Shoes you can't even wear.
Which is just insane to me. And like, I was just thinking about, keeping up with trends versus choosing to just
It's
switch
exhausting.
off.
It's exhausting.
Isn't it just?
I think it's impossible, really, to do it all
Yeah.
at a high level.
And it had me thinking, obviously I'm on social media with the fitness stuff. And you are, well, actually, you're team Facebook. So you're sort of on social media.
I'm
as
on
well.
social media. I'm on Facebook more than anything else.
And
I only have Facebook and Instagram, though. I don't have anything else.
but you really don't use Instagram.
No.
You do not use Instagram. And it had me thinking, and this is for you guys out there as well. What does your life look like without social media? And most importantly, would you be happy if you were to take social media away today? What does your life look like? Would you be happy?
Well, I think that social media is kind of the cause for a lot of things in our society. And I think, like, overall, we would be a much happier society without social media. Like, for me, a lot of social media gives me anxiety, For example, I have an 8th grader, right? And her friends are on social media. And, I don't want her right now. She's just so like innocent and just happy. And she has a little friend group. And like, I just think of that first time when she scrolls through her news feed and sees like a bunch of her friends like went somewhere and she didn't get invited.
Yeah.
And like that anxiety and that feeling that we get when we see like, oh, a large group of my friends went to dinner and I didn't get invited,
Yeah.
or they went to a party, or they had a sleepover, or there was a birthday party. I mean, we social media gives us anxiety. So I think like I don't know if individuals will say that they'll be happier without it, but like physiologically, I think, and mentally, I think we definitely would be happier without it.
I mean, I agree with that because I think I suppose from one perspective, social media allows those people who would otherwise be socially awkward, that is in person, to still be part of what's going on in the world, still be involved, still be able to see, what's up. But from the other side of things, I guess, as you said, if you did take social media away, it allows you to be more involved, to be more present. I remember my sister's husband, whenever we had guests come over, he would turn off the TV. So that is, if someone comes to visit you, no matter how long, the TV goes off. And I remember my niece and I used to think, oh man, like we have to talk.
Yeah.
We have to be involved. And I think that's what social media has done. How many of you go out and eat dinner or get together with friends and everybody spends at least 5 minutes just scrolling, just looking
It's
at
taking pictures of your food,
Yes.
like scanning your beer to put it in the app to tell it what it, if you liked it.
Yeah.
I was listening to Big D and Bubba in the morning, the radio show.
Yeah.
And they were talking about one of their friends that makes it a point when he is talking with someone or at dinner or in just with other people, he does not look at his phone.
Right.
So you never see his phone. And I was just thinking like, man, how many times do we go to dinner and everybody takes their phone out and puts it on the table? And, constantly throughout dinner, you're like checking or...
You have to be switched on. If your
yeah.
crypto's going down, you want to know. It's a lot of time investment.
Well, they were just saying the guy, like the people around him, like notice it and the conversations are better. They're deeper. And a lot of them kind of pick up on the fact that he doesn't ever have his phone out or doesn't stop the conversation to check his phone. And so they never check their phone.
Yeah.
And it's kind of contagious behavior just to be more dialed into the conversation and be present, which we've talked about many times.
And I mean, it's peaceful, to be honest with you. Over the last, as I said, motivation this year has been a little bit down there. And I guess I mean motivation in terms of social media, being socially active and present all the time, that I've made it a point when I get home, if I finish my workout, I've really enjoyed turning off my Wi-Fi, so I'm not getting any WhatsApp messages. I'm not getting any notification from any app. And I realized how much anxiety it can induce in the morning to be everyone is just, you need to respond to these messages. And I'm looking like that because I know our audio engineer is looking at me because that noise. Sorry. But anyway, yeah, like it's just a lot of time invested in social media. Like,
yeah.
What?
So if you took all the time that you spend on social media and you reallocated it to something else, what would that be?
Ooh, that's a good question. What would it be? I think I would spend time reading more. I often hear people talk about the books they've read. My sister talk about the books they've read. You talk about the books you've read. And the difference between me and them is social media involvement. I feel like over the years, I've been saying this, that I just feel like my vocabulary has just gone all the way down. Once upon a time, I used to read a lot. I used to know a lot more random facts or just things because you're taking the time to read and learn and open your mind. As they say, reading cures ignorance. So I wonder if I've also just become ignorant over time because I haven't been reading as much. So I think I would use that time and read more, learn something new instead of watch something new with someone giving me a tutorial on TikTok and Instagram.
Do you get that notification on your phone on Sunday mornings that says your screen time for the past week is up or down,
No,
or
because
how much it is? Like, I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, I've been on my, but in my defense, like, I think it counts all of like your, I use my phone for Waze,
Yeah.
like on where I'm driving for, and like audio books and all of that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
not just talking on the phone, but it's like, all right, I'm going to admit this on the podcast. It's like 6 hours a day.
Dude, I actually feel like mine will probably be more, which is disgusting.
I mean, 6 hours a day attached to your phone.
That's a lot.
It is.
Did you know that Instagram now has, I think you can set limits on, and parents can do this. You can set a limit on how long your child can be on Instagram or the app is up other than outside
You can turn
of
off.
that, it's disabled.
Yeah, you can turn off apps on your kids' phones.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would do with that time. If you didn't use those 6 hours just holding your phone, Jen, what would you do with those 6 hours?
Well, I don't really think, I mean, like I said, I think it has to do with like when I'm in the car, when I'm using Waze, when I'm listening to an audiobook. Now, I have been playing a little Candy Crush lately.
The first step to recovery is admission, Jen.
Yes,
It still says 6 hours.
Yeah, I know it does. Well, I want to check your phone next week because I'm 100% sure yours is going to be more than that. So, I just think maybe I would spend it more quality time with the people that I'm around, whether that's friends or family members, just being more present in the moment. Like right now, I just signed. So I never have the noises on my phone turned on.
Yeah.
My phone is constantly on silent
or vibrate.
And so because I get so distracted by all the different noises.
Yeah.
Well, I just signed up for this new lead. What?
I noticed that.
And I was like, oh God. Like, it was awesome. So you just signed up for what?
I just signed up for this new like lead program to get real estate leads. And the people were like, oh yeah, we only send it to like one person at a time. And so I get my first lead and I go to claim it. It was like, sorry, already won. Somebody else won this one. And I was like, mother. So I'm like, all right. I mean, I literally had my phone in my hand, opened the app, clicked it, and said like claim.
Yeah.
And it was gone. In like 5 seconds, I was so mad. So I called the company. I was like, you told me these leads were not there. It's obviously going to other people.
Right.
And they were like, oh, well, I mean, it goes to like one person for like 10 seconds. And then it goes to the next person because these people are on the phone and we need to hook them up with an agent. And so we can't give you 5 minutes because they're on the phone. So I'm like, all right, I got to like hustle. My competitive spirit
have
is
to
like
be switched on.
Ready. So you know what? I actually turned on my sound for those leads to come in. Because now, like, if my phone's on the other side and I hear that certain sound, I'm like, oh, my God. And I run over there and I try to claim it. And I've actually won a few. But my husband knows the sound now, too. So when we're, like, binge watching and I hear bling, I'm like, oh, he's like, get it. So
I'm sorry to tell you, Jen, that leads to increased screen time.
I know. Yeah, it does. So I'm actually digressing in my.
Because what it turns out is, even though we think of social media as just Instagram and Facebook, social media and socially, that is a social app. It's an app that's linking you to people, right? Just like dating apps. It's an app that's linking you to people, linking you to business. So I guess that begs the question, is social media or even just our phones the new way to financial freedom these days? Or is it just an addiction, a drug?
I mean, I think it's one of those things that can be used for good or evil. It can be an addiction or drug.
Let me change that. Do you think a lot of people out there would have as much success as they have today even when you think of leads, even in real estate, right? Before in real estate, you had to wait for somebody to call you. You had to wait for either somebody to look you up in a phone book or, go to a website specifically on a computer. Things have changed now. It's literally either someone saw you on Instagram, someone saw you here, so it's opened the doors quite a bit. When you look at people,
absolutely,
beauty gurus, fitness enthusiasts, so is it really not the new way to, how much success would people have had without social media over the last?
I mean, I say this all the time. I feel like the generation before me, if you didn't go to college, there's very little chance that you have a good paying job. I feel like right now the sky's the limit on anybody that has some hustle and is willing to
hustle
learn.
And Wi-Fi.
Yeah, hustle and Wi-Fi. That's what you need to be successful. I mean, really, you can go into stores and buy something and then go on eBay and sell it and make $100,000 a year. You can make NFTs or YouTube videos.
I still want to know what those are.
Can somebody explain it to me? It's digital art. It's a digital. It's so hard to explain.
They look like pixelated Lego to me.
No, it's like when you have a baseball card or something and it's like an original or it's in mint condition and they have different values. An NFT is like a digital piece of art, but it can be I think somebody turned the first tweet ever done by the owner of Twitter into an NFT, which is just a picture of it. And it sold for $1 million. Oh
my God.
Because they can say this is the original first edition. It's crazy.
That's doing a lot. I mean, I remember when I first started YouTube, I started a YouTube in 2013, but I remember hiding it and thinking oh my gosh, everyone's just going to think I'm so stupid. And not too long ago, maybe 2 years ago, I remember asking my nephew, what do you want to be? And I was like, I want to be a YouTuber. And I was like, 10 years ago, imagine saying that out loud.
Yeah.
But now I'm sure parents, when they see 6-year-olds making 26 million in 1 year, what parent is going to say no if your child can find the right gimmick?
Yeah. I mean, I think they made millions showing kids how to make slime and stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy what you can do, and you just have to be up on the trends and willing to learn how to use it and kind of be open to that.
Yeah.
But I think there is an amount of what you can and what you can't keep up with. I mean, to me, I think it stopped after Instagram because it was just always another thing. It was just another thing and another thing that you had to learn and had to keep up with. And it's unless you really love it, you're not going to really want to keep up with all those things. So I think it just depends on the person.
It sounds like you have to know your limits. And what are your limits out there, guys? What sort of, what strategies do you implement when it comes to weaning yourself off of screen time or social media? And if you had that time, the same amount of time that you invest looking at or playing around on social media, what would you use it for? We'd love to hear from you.
And we would love to hear what your phone tells you on Sunday mornings, what your screen time is. Please post it on our Instagram page.
See you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of It Starts With Courage podcast with Kat and Jen. If you like this episode of the podcast, visit our website, iswcpodcast.com, for show notes and other cool things.